myself is, does nature have its own meaning? The first thing I do is separate from the question. The question is past. The idea is not to focus on the words, not to focus on an answer, not to focus on the mind, the thoughts, the conditioned intelligence. The question is past. The question arises again. This time, it's much more clearer. Because the question, like anything in life, needs time to process what its intent is, its need to be understood is. Does nature have its own meaning? So we're not looking at it from my point of view, my knowledge, my understanding, my preferred answer. We're looking at it that nature is a completely different entity from you at this moment. You're not part of this. It's not your question. And then you realize it has to be my question. I am nature. I can refer to information, and science will say I'm 70% water. But is water nature? What are we talking about? Are we talking about the natural elements of this planet? Or are we talking about the nature of life, of being, of existing? This is true inquiry. For myself, this is true inquiry. I've not even attempted to answer. The answer is evolving on its own. Do I have my own meaning? If I am nature, do I have a meaning? I have a mind that can create meaning. I have a mind that has spent many past years learning about the meaning of things. The meanings. What does it mean to get married? What does it mean to join the Navy? What does it mean to be here? What does it mean to me to be here? And that's the meaning. The whole 4.5 minutes is the whole meaning. Mind says, what is it? When you want to grow this, mind says, damn words. Give me some more information. Come on. Give me something to work with. What kind of meaning? See? Mind wants to investigate the meaning of nature, the meaning of me, the meaning of being in the army or the navy, the meaning of getting married. Come on. If you don't give me meaning, how can I help you? Does nature need help? Does nature need help? Do I need help? Just being here? What kind of assistance do I need? Do I need a mind that tells me how to live my life? Or is life just not living itself? This is my meditation. There is no meaning. The meaning, contradiction, is life. But life does not have to have a sub-meaning, a secondary meaning. Okay, now I'm here. I have to do something. What is my purpose? What do I put here for? What is my background? What is my culture? What does my parents say? What does my teacher say? What does the government say? What does the politician say? What does God say? What does Jesus say? What does the Bible say? What does the Bhagavad Gita say? What does the Quran say? I can't do anything unless they help me. And of course there are aspects of life, nature. So they're not doing anything wrong. It's their way of expressing a secondary meaning to being here, like a celebration. So I am experiencing this celebration just by being here. Some, they need to attend a roller coaster ride every day to celebrate the reason of being here. Some need to build empires. Some need to build castles. Some need to create world peace. Secondary meanings. The idea of following the secondary meaning means there's no world peace. For me, there's world peace. Humans, the mind, the meaning to life, the meaning of war, the meaning of peace, the meaning of words, the meaning of identities, the meaning of relationships creates a need to remove the meaning, to deny meaning. If there's no meaning, there's no war. If there's no meaning, there's no peace. So it's not a one-sided affair for myself. You know, my understanding through experience is that Buddha and Christ and Krishna, they never said, I can't remember, maybe there's some literature or some passage in the books, but they never said you must take sides. Buddha, balance. Christ, life is simple. Yeah? The simplicity of life is worth making effort for. So simple and effort are very contradictory, but they're the same meaning. Just because there's no meaning to my life, there's effort taking place. Physical effort, not psychological effort, not mental constructed effort. Because the meaning of my life is just to be here. That's a celebration. Just celebrating in this meditation, within, out with, that there is an absolute association with being here, with existing. So there's no further effort. But the understanding is, if there is a sub effort for you, it's okay. It's okay. Your need to celebrate you being some sort of a particular type of person, or super intelligent mind, or celebrity, or whatever. The need for you that you can only celebrate life by being something other than what life is, or a secondary example of what life is, a mind constructed mental way to say you have to express yourself as something other than what you are to understand that everything is a celebration of nature at its best, of life at its best. So I find it intolerable for myself to say that there's a superiority to enlightenment, to a superiority for those that are very simple and make minimal effort. Some call that wise, not intelligent. But there are so many that are doing super intelligent stuff. But they're not any different from the wise. They're not any different from any other meaning of exploring each other's existence. We're on existence. Oh yes, I gave myself, speaker, you can't hide from this one. Before this change, before this removal of secondary meanings, you followed these meanings and you didn't succeed. And the ones that succeeded, they don't understand this talk. They don't understand this talk. They already are celebrating their life in their meaningful ways. That's why Eckhart Tolle says mindlessness and Thich Nhat Hanh says mindfulness. Same thing. Both celebrating life. It appears as if they're celebrating in opposing ways, but they're not. The ways are ways. Both ways are born from the celebration of life. You see, I understand Christ in this way. When Christ opens his arms, he's not saying this hand is almighty and this hand is weak. He's saying the arms, they're just waving around, they're flapping about, they're just celebrating in their own way. The hands love shaking, the hands love waving and swirling. But they're not exempt from this. Without this, none of the swirling can take place. None of the... See? Balance. Yeah. Meaningful, meaningless. Both celebrating in secondary, meaningful ways or meaningless ways. But Mr. Speaker, I celebrate from here, accepting that all that exists in this dynamic and exceptionally mysterious and mystical presence of being here is worthy of celebration. You see, that's why teaching is not about saying this is the right way. That's why Christ was misinterpreted, because they thought Christ was saying God is the only way. You see? Yeah? But God wasn't. Christ was saying God is the initial way, the original way. And it's optional. But if you understand that you are connected to this God, everything can take place in opposing ways. You're not detached. The ribbon is not detached from the maple. The ribbon cannot swirl. If it's detached from the maple, the ribbon disappears. There is no way of understanding anything It just floats around in its spatial nothingness. And you know that through the experience of enlightenment. You float around in spatial nothingness. I have a great story I must tell myself. It's my favorite story, and it's an actual experience, a living experience. I was floating around in nothingness, giggling like that foolish sage that Muji speaks around, that higher than that I don't know myself, I can't find anything, I'm just a cloud of floatingness. And someone, I think my wife said, or I don't know, someone says, you need to open a new bank account. And I went to the bank. I was so happy just opening the bank door, happy, in a very naive and vulnerable way. You know, if someone had said, "Give me your wallet," oh yeah, take my wallet, yeah. Can I have your money? Take my money, yeah. Take my car, take my house, take everything, take everything. So that's kind of naive and vulnerable in our human world. So I walked into the bank, and I just loved being in front of the bank. I loved walking to the bank. I loved talking to the bank teller on the bank. I said, "Can you open me an account?" And the bank teller says, "Well, something about it's really bad banking times right now. Maybe 2008. You know, remember that banking facade? I don't know." He says, "We have no special deals for you, no special accounts for you." I says, "It's okay. I have been sent on a task to open an account. Can you open me a account? It doesn't matter." And the bank teller says, "Okay, the only account we have is a 0% interest, and it's for you." And I laughed. I fell to my knees. I couldn't stop laughing. I had reached that godly Christ Buddha state of the joy of just existing. No interest. 0% interest in me. 0% interest for me. Me being the ego. No interest. No interest. Meaning no gains, but no losses. I had attained and reached that perfect paradisial place they speak about in the Bible. I picked myself up and I left the bank. I didn't open an account. I couldn't even bring myself to look at the bank teller who was scratching his head and the people around looking. Maybe we should phone an ambulance, maybe we should phone the police, maybe we should phone this. I was freed that day. But this 0% interest, it doesn't fit into this human world, you see. So that peakness, this meditation says, yeah, so what? Are you going to float around in nothingness for the rest of this entire body? Or are you going to just readdress the relationship you have with your family and the people and nature and the world and your mind? So you retain this interest in meaning, and the only meaning is that meaning in the bank. I am interested in life. It itself has meaning, and there's nothing you have to do to create a secondary meaning to be free and completely engulfed in this world of consciousness. whether it's non-dual or dual, whether it has meaning or no meaning, whether it is interesting or non-interesting, whether it is secondary or primary. We're all here with incredible meaning. And the meaning is being here incredibly as I am. Meditation over. Thank you, sir. If it's not for you, find your own meditation. Find your own bank. It's not anywhere else other than in you.